$25,000 level just moments ago. Is Bitcoin in for its first dumpy week of the year? Or in fact, is one chart showing us something much bigger than that? With one of the most legendary, feared, and respected patterns flashing right now before our eyes, I can promise you one thing. You do not want to watch this video if you can't handle the truth. Right now, the price of Bitcoin is in one of its most precarious positions that we've seen of the entire year. As fears rise over the collapse of the stock market into a multi-week dumpathon, is Bitcoin going to be able to maintain its momentum after doing something very big, specifically as well, just moments ago on this chart? And I want to dump into this. So if we look at Bitcoin right now, in fact, just moments ago, Bitcoin was above 25,000 and now it's below it. And we're kind of, flipping up and down every moment. By the time you're watching this, maybe we're above it, maybe we're below it. Things are happening fast. Again, not very important because it is weekend price action, but in just moments, in just hours, we will see futures open, and then we will see the stock market open, I believe on Tuesday. In fact, we have another day of kind of the weekend price action because of the holiday. But there are some very big things flashing on these charts. And the first thing I want to highlight is this. This pattern goes all the way back to September of 2022. So this is roughly about a 6 or so month pattern. And it's a pattern we've seen before. In fact, I specifically remember, I believe back in the beginning of 2020 and the very end of 2019, tracking a better, albeit, version of a inverse head and shoulders pattern that ultimately broke us up, I believe, to 8 or 9,000. And shortly after, within a few weeks, we were breaching 10K, we were breaching 15, and you can think back to 2020 and you can look at that price action and see how explosive it got. Inverse head and shoulders patterns are one of my favorite reversal patterns from bearish to bullish trends on long-term charts. And again, if we take a look here, we do see there is a clear ascending level of resistance, which is by far the most important in my opinion. And right at this very second, we're testing yet another one of those right now. In fact, we spent kind of all of January riding along the bottom of it, scraping along the bottom, trying to get there. And so it's a pattern I think that is absolutely worth looking at. Breakout target, guys, if we would get a full confirmation and breakout of this, again, is into the same level I've been talking about from a million different patterns, the mid $30,000 level. And that kind of plays into a different chart as well. So Stock Money Lizards here on Twitter posted this. Just like we remember that massive triangle from the previous bear to bull and bull to bear, whatever you want to call it, the consolidation from starting at the beginning of the end of the bull market, going into the entire bear market, and then the breakout was the next bull market. We have a similar potential structure here that does not exist yet, but Stock Money Lizards is making the case potentially for that type of pattern. And one of the reasons I like this is because of this. I like this because it encapsulates almost entirely what I think the next 2 years could look like, which is this: where we are right now, breaching up into the mid 30 and potentially even touching up on the $40,000 level. Okay, in a very strong relief rally, very similar to 2019. But then what? But then breaking down and spending months and months kind of going a little bit below 40K, down even into touching on 30K and ultimately finding like 30K as support for months, where again, you would see that sentiment flip very bearish. Ultimately then breaking out, having another bull run, potentially topping out at $300,000 per Bitcoin. And that's really what I really like about this pattern, okay? So you see us riding up, having a very strong relief for the next couple of months, and then spending nearly an entire year, not quite, but like 7 or 8 months or so, trading sideways and getting a little dumped on before entering the next bull market. And as I've been saying, I don't think we're anywhere close to new all-time highs, right? I've been saying that. I think that's too bullish. I don't think we're going to be hitting new all-time highs in 2 months. I think that's silly. But I do think that this relief rally could last another few months. I've been saying this for months. I've been saying this over and over and over again. And this chart perfectly encapsulates that. Of course, it is very speculative, considering that half of, I would say like 40% of this entire pattern, he's just plotting out of thin air kind of. But I think it makes a lot of sense. And as well, Mags on Twitter, I want to point out, if we look at the 2013, 2017, 2022 cycle as well, the Scalping Pro Mags on Twitter highlighted that where we are right now, this consolidation, after an initial bottom bust from the bottom ranges here, of these markets, of these cycles, these bottom ranges here, is this the first rip into that relief? And guys, look at both of these charts. So I think that's worth looking at. Absolutely. But another thing I want to highlight is this. I covered this a couple of days ago, this potential double top. And that's where I'm kind of concerned with Bitcoin in the very short term. Because with us getting rejected off 25,000 literally just moments ago, guys, that again, this is a live chart right here. This is a image. This is a live chart. Look at, if we really zoom in here, did we really shatter this? Not really. It looks as though we so far are stopping kind of right where this last top was back in August of 2022. So what did I point out a couple of days ago? Well, you can see if you look at this chart, another dump here is absolutely not out of the question. And again, that's why I have this chart still open from a couple of days ago when I first started talking about it. And again, if we take a look even on a more zoomed in time frame here, let me put the VPVR away. If you see here, guys, really, yes, we did squeak out we got a little bit higher than we did back in August, but for all intents and purposes, if we don't get a giga bust here soon, then it could quickly turn into a scenario where we trade sideways a little bit and get another pullback and have to retest some of those lows, which I've been saying for a very long time is also healthy. But I just want you to be aware of that, because the longer we sit at 25 or a little under 25,000 and don't concretely get above it and flip that resistance into support, the danger grows bigger and bigger that we have that rejection there and revisit 20K and below, as I've been talking about every single video. And again, it's also, even though that might sound a little bearish, it's not. But the bigger thing here is that this death cross, which we sit underneath right now, if we are able to break 25K, which would also put us above this death cross, again, that's why this price level we're at now is so important, because we're right on the verge of flipping all indicators to mega bullish or getting pushed down. And in my opinion, all of these decisions will be made over this upcoming week. This is going to be a big week. And I also want to continue highlighting that the entire crypto market cap is on the verge of busting. Now, let's say we go down for a week or two and just kind of ride this line, slowly bring it down, and we lose. Keep in mind, if we lost billions of dollars on the crypto market cap, this line would barely budge, because this is a 1.5 year long pattern. It's massive. So even if Bitcoin dumped back down to 20K or something like that, this chart absolutely would go down, but it's not going to look like the biggest dumpy candle of all time, considering there is roughly there is over $1 trillion right now in this chart, because this is bigger than Bitcoin. It's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Matic, everything. It's all the crypto market cap. So absolutely ginormous. Absolutely time-sensitive alerts. Take advantage of massive bonuses with BITGET, FIMX below if you're interested in trading. Specifically, 0 fees for spot trading on Bybit and BitGet below, and massive copy trading features also new to Bybit as well. When you sign up with my link below, all of that included, and as well massive welcome and deposit bonuses as well. With everything I do, that's it for me.